Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to more GBFC. Today we are going to focus on Manchester United. It's transfer season. We got the Club World Cup coming up. You guys might not recognise this background. I've been travelling. We are now in the USA. I will be here until at least the end of the Club World Cup. We're going to be going to a few Chelsea games, maybe some of the other matches as well. So make sure you're subscribed to more GBFC and the content is back up and running. Today, we are going to talk about Manchester United incomings. We're going to talk specifically about Matheus Cunha and also Bryan Mbeumo. But first things first, I want to discuss Bruno Fernandez because Bruno Fernandez was subject to a £100 million bid from Saudi Arabia. As well as that, there was a rumoured contract that was offered to Bruno for £231 million. Bruno Fernandez rejected that contract in Saudi Arabia. And the first thing I will say in response to that, with my opinion, is credit to Bruno Fernandez. Because it would have been incredibly easy with Manchester United being in a state of disarray, the on-field results, losing that Europa League final in such feeble fashion to Spurs. United didn't show up. Bruno didn't show up. The whole team, the manager, nobody got anything right on that day. And the league form, well, it's been non-existent all year. It's been in a state of decline for a long time. And as well as that, it is a product of the way that the club is being ran. Bruno Fernandez, as much as he's a footballer that I've heavily criticised over the years, he frustrates me to watch. And as much as it does frustrate me, his goals and assists and the numbers that he provides for Manchester United arguably kept Manchester United in the Premier League. I don't actually know what would have happened if Bruno's goals and assists didn't exist. It would have been somebody else and it would have been shared in a different way. But I want to talk a little bit about Bruno because as much as I think it's honourable to stay at Manchester United and reject life-changing, multiple generational monies from Saudi Arabia, I just wonder if Manchester United really desperately needed that money. The 100 million that they'd have got for Bruno, is Bruno Fernandez basically a stopgap to actually helping this team grow? Now, that might seem a little bit counterintuitive because obviously he was their top performer last season. I think he scored the most goals, got the most assists. He was by far their best player in a team that was incredibly struggling. A whole season long, Manchester United were a disaster. But if you start to look at the transfers that they're bringing in, Matheus Cunha, arguably, maybe even the best number 10 in the Premier League, other than Cole Palmer, maybe Szoboszlai. I think Matheus Cunha is absolutely up there. Top 3, top 4 number 10s in the Premier League. As well as that, Bryan Mbeumo is now coming through the door. If you look at that, one of Manchester United's biggest problems disappears. That is the reliance only on Bruno Fernandes to be the guy to score and get assists out there on the pitch. Bryan Mbeumo, 27 goal contributions in the Premier League this season. Matheus Cunha has been scoring and assisting for fun ever since he joined Wolves in the Premier League. He's a fantastic player, and I believe both of these are incredibly astute signings. A lot of people might turn their nose up at what Manchester United are doing because there's a lot of talk about the salary that Bryan Mbeumo wants. And look, Manchester United this summer were always going to be in a predicament. The predicament is no European football. Can they attract the big names? The only way to attract the big names if you don't have the big football is to give them loads of money. Now, I'm not going to judge them negatively for this because, look, Chelsea, we've spent £1.6 billion. So who would I be to say Man United shouldn't be offering these kind of wages? But again, the one thing I'm seeing here from Manchester United is it's the exact same decisions that have got them into this trouble and this mess in the first place. Paying players too much money with no guarantee that they're going to succeed. I think Man United's problems run significantly deeper than just scoring goals. I think Rasmus Højlund, no disrespect to him, maybe it is disrespectful, I think he's the worst Manchester United striker that I've ever seen in my lifetime. I think even Weghorst was a better striker than Rasmus Højlund. He's not the guy that's going to lead the line and score you enough goals every single season. So does signing Matheus Cunha solve that problem? Probably not, because he's not an out-and-out striker. Is Bryan Mbeumo? Absolutely not. Mbeumo is probably going to be used as one of those inside forwards that we know that Ruben Amorim likes to use. So the question is, Can Manchester United still go out there and sign a top striker in this transfer window? If I was Man United, okay, this is exactly what I would do. I'd go out there and try and get Victor Osimhen. And I've been saying it all summer long. If you watch GBFC, you guys will know that I'm a massive fan of Victor Osimhen. He's been the main guy that I wanted Chelsea to sign throughout the entire summer, even last summer. For years, I've been wanting this bloke. He's a natural goal scorer. He's a target man. And as much as people say, oh, he doesn't really work hard for the team, you've just gone and bought the two players that work incredibly hard for the team, that can put the ball on a plate for Victor Osimhen. All of a sudden, then we're starting to look at United, and they have got probably the most formidable front three in the Premier League, which sounds ridiculous, but it actually could be that if they went out there and bought Victor Osimhen, even a Victor Gyökeres. I don't know why so many clubs right now who were supposedly in for Gyökeres, we're not seeing anything concrete regarding that. Maybe there's something that we don't know about. Maybe there is like an underlying injury issue that is stopping teams from going for him. Maybe it's just the fact that he wants astronomical money. The goals are there. And I think Osimhen is the kind of player that would probably relish the opportunity to take the burden, I'm going to say, of a club that is in dire need of something special to happen to it. And Manchester United fans, from what I can perceive, looking in from the outside, watching creators and just looking at social media as a whole, and even speaking to Manchester United friends of mine on the buzzer, people, they just want to see a team that's actually fighting on the pitch for a start. Bruno Fernandez was the epitome of fight for them, but you can't just rely on Bruno Fernandez when you're Manchester United. So all of a sudden, Mbeumo, Cunha, and an Osimhen or a Gyökeres, and you're talking about a Man United team that, regardless of all of the other holes all over the pitch, that gets you enough goals. Ruben Amorim is being backed clearly with all of those signings, or these signings that are coming in, and I think Manchester United will absolutely be back on the rise. At the moment, nothing is official or confirmed for Bryan Mbeumo, so for Manchester United, I think that they need to be very careful here that they get this job done, because Mbeumo could be getting Champions League football at a club like Newcastle. But the big question I have for Manchester United fans, if you're watching this video, let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. Would you have wanted Bruno to be sold? Because I absolutely think here that there is an argument that despite Bruno's being such an important player under Amorim last season, if United are going to completely rebuild, start from scratch, not only do they need the finances to be able to do that, but I think that there's definitely players that would fit the way that Amorim wants to play that could end up taking Bruno out of the side. He's not getting any younger. He's 30 years old. £100 million. Was this the opportunity missed by Manchester United? Will they be able to command such a high fee for Bruno again? Did he hit the peak of what he can do at United last season? Or is it now that better players are going to be coming in around him? Because look, regardless of who you sign up front, they're going to be better than Rasmus Højlund. That's a non-negotiable. Mbeumo, fantastic Premier League proven player. Matheus Cunha, exactly the same. When you get better players playing around you, it wouldn't be inconceivable to believe that Bruno's numbers would go up even higher. But did Bruno make the right choice? It's an honourable choice, but was it the right one? And is it the right one for Manchester United? I think it would be absolutely crazy for Man United to even think that losing their talisman player who gets the most goals, get the most assists, it could all get worse. It genuinely could. I don't think it will, because I think they've absolutely hit rock bottom. And already in the early stages of this transfer window, United are addressing problems. They're buying top-class players. They're buying good players. And it should, in my opinion, be enough to see them go back up the Premier League again next year. My early prediction for Manchester United's season, we're obviously going to cover a lot more transfer news, a lot more clubs over the course of the next few days. But my prediction for Man United next year is 8th in the Premier League. I think it will be a huge step up from this season, but I think they've just got too much work to do. I think they need a new goalkeeper. I think they need new midfielders, new defence. They need actual players on the wing-back positions that can execute the roles that Amorim wants. I think Dorgu could be a smart signing. But again, he's young. Is it going to be Manchester United keep going out there, offering huge money to Premier League proven players, or are they going to start adopting more of the Chelsea model? I think they probably need to do that because they've spent so much money and it's been wasted. And to finish 15th in the league and lose a European final to Tottenham, it was nothing shy of a disaster. But instead of just piling on the hate to Manchester United, keeping Bruno, is it the right thing? I genuinely don't know, because I don't know how much money they're going to be able to spend without that 100 million. Are they going to have to sell Garnacho? Yes, Garnacho's going to leave. We know that. Kobbie Mainoo, could he leave as well? Is that going to disrupt too much of the players that were actually coming good for Man United? Are they going to have to replace all of them? Yes, of course. Let me know your thoughts, United fans, in the comments down below. Wanted to just make a pretty simple video discussing the state of Manchester United right now to bring the channel back, because I've been traveling over the last few days, left Thailand. We're now in the US. I'm in California for the next 10 days or so. And then we fly to Atlanta for the start of Chelsea's Club World Cup. So expect daily videos again now on more GBFC. Thank you guys for watching. See you all later.